The CHP right behind 4 suspects. Used to be 5. One guy got out.
Is that my 4 o'clock?
At the Cal State Fullerton campus. He was apprehended. Now you see the CHP is a lot closer. And one of the reasons for this is because they're no longer on the freeway. They are on surface streets, and it is a lot easier for this guy to evade police on surface streets. Of course, they have a helicopter overhead along with our chopper. So those spotters aren't going to lose him, but they want to make sure at the speed this guy is going, they're going to have to consider some sort of an intervention. That yellow and green chopper you saw that just flew through our shot, that is the Sheriff's Department. I would assume at this point the Orange County Sheriff's Department. And Jeff, if you can keep that car in the top 2/3 of your shot, that would help us out a lot. Thank you very much. All 4 men inside this, according to the reports we're getting from the CHP, armed and dangerous, very possibly armed and dangerous. We know there was at least 1 weapon used in this jewelry store robbery where a clerk was shot and wounded. We're trying to get the condition on that clerk. The concern at this point is what other harm these suspects are going to do, because it's very likely at the speeds they are traveling. Now they're on the opposite side, going into oncoming traffic. This is something the CHP is not going to do in chasing them. Back into the right-hand side of the road. Jeff, do we know the street they're on in Bellflower?
Yeah, I believe this is South Alameda, but they just made a left-turn turn off that street. And they're now going on in a residential area, it looks like. Oh, they just went over a dip?
All right. If you're just joining us, everybody, it is 4:13. You're watching a Fox Alert here at Fox 11. This is Jeff Michael in the Fox 11 newsroom. Pursuit that began about a half hour, 40 minutes ago in the Moreno Valley. 4 suspects in this gray Lexus, and it looks to me that Lexus either has a spare tire on the front, definitely not, or maybe it just lost a wheel cover. We don't know if the Lexus is stolen. It's likely that it is. If you look at the left front damage that's already been done. Now you see the CHP. I don't even know if that's actually CHP or if that's a local police.
Yeah, it looks like it's Sheriff's unit, Jeff.
Is it Sheriff?
Yeah, and they are in the city of Compton at this point. That's where we are located, in the city of Compton.
Oh.
We're right near the Compton airport.
All right, well that makes things a lot. Yeah, Sheriff, because they're on Surface Street, the Sheriff's Department, LA County Sheriff is going to take over this pursuit. They communicate with one another nonetheless. Coming up to an intersection here.
Okay,
almost clipped one guy,
Street.
almost clipped another guy. They're right around the Compton Airport area. And there's all 4 men considered armed and dangerous. A shooting in the Moreno Valley. We're trying to get a more exact location for you on that store. There you see at the bottom of your screen that 1 suspect got out at Cal State Fullerton. Obviously that suspect is police are going to be talking to him while they're trying to get information on who is inside this car. Any information that suspect gives, the original California Highway Patrolman who was chasing them, they are going to transmit to the LA County Sheriff. Look at the way this guy is driving. Very often in these pursuits, the people who are being chased will head to an area they know. It does no good for them to try to get away in an unfamiliar area. They tend to go back to their neighborhood where they think maybe they can ditch into an alley. Maybe there would be somebody there who would hide them. Wouldn't be the first time we've covered these pursuits that exact thing has happened. Maybe jump a fence, get in somebody's backyard. That is certainly something that the LA Sheriff's Department does not want to see happen, because then that further puts other people in danger. We saw the left front end damage on that Lexus. I don't know if that took place during this chase out of the Moreno Valley. One would think it did. But then again, we don't know where they got the Lexus in the first place. The problem with doing, and you've seen on these pursuits, the pit maneuver, which is the pursuit intervention technique, where they use the corner of a front bumper of a black and white to the opposite corner of the suspect's car. The problem with doing that here is A, the speed. The speed right now is too fast, and B, the space. They don't have the space, considering the oncoming traffic, to do it. Now, right here, they might be able to. Soon as they slow down and the officer behind thinks he can disable that car, chances are that officer, he or she, is going to do it. Jeff, give us a location if you have it, please.
Yeah, they're still in Compton. I'm not quite sure of the street, but you saw earlier they were around El Segundo Boulevard. But they are definitely in a residential area, and you have to, you know, there is quite a danger of people and children that might be in this area here. Oh, look at that. He just is showing no regard for any traffic or any possible pedestrians at this point.
Well, and you're right about the kids, because school gets out between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, but many people, most people, especially in an area where we have, you know, two-parent working families, are going to use after-school daycare, so they don't get out until 4:30, 5 o'clock, and that's the time we're nearing right now. As we said, you just saw a school bus that this guy went past. It's surprising that we haven't seen more people just out walking who could be put in danger by what this driver is doing. See that car right there that just went up on the sidewalk to get away? You're in a residential area here, and this guy has to be doing 40 or 50 or 60 miles an hour into oncoming traffic, swerving past cars, cutting cars off. And really, when you consider that he has already shot one clerk during or apparently, allegedly shot one clerk during a jewelry store robbery, really, what does he have to lose? And I'm just going to pause so my assignment manager can give me information.
This apparently is not the original car from the robbery.
All right.
Cal State Fullerton, there may have been a carjacking, or there may have been another car that they took.
All right.
So this is another car.
Excuse me, everybody, as I'm starting to lose my voice here. I've just been told that the car you're looking at, even though it is also a gray car, and we originally got a description of a gray Lexus, it apparently is not the car that was used as the getaway car in the Moreno Valley jewelry store heist, but a second car was taken. There was a carjacking or a car theft at the Cal State Fullerton campus, and that's the car you see there. See that right there? Two people in the crosswalk, barely missed them, barely missed cross traffic. Two parents on your right we just saw walking a small child or two adults. That's the kind of area where this person is speeding and putting people in danger. Just took a right. Jeff, do we have that street?
Well, I didn't catch that at this point.
All right. We're now about, I'd say about 50 minutes into this pursuit. 4 men inside, a getaway car, the second car that they have used to run from police. Once again, Jeff, got to ask you, I know it's very difficult if you can try to keep that car in the top part of your frame. Look at that, right down the center line, in between oncoming traffic and the correct direction, and right there, just squeezes between two cars as he takes a left.
All right, 12 o'clock.
And you have to understand, everybody, as you're watching at home, both our photographer, Jeff Schwadock, in the helicopter, as well as our pilot, have to negotiate with other helicopters in the area, as well as try to keep a distance above the LA County Sheriff's helicopter. That is the primary spotter for these units on the ground. Now, also keep in mind that even though there are units pursuing this suspect, they are trying to get units in front of this suspect, but he is making so many evasive moves, so many turns, that it's very difficult to know where to put a spike strip, where to try to put a blockade. So at this point, they just hope that he puts himself in an area where that car 125 there you see can hopefully use that pit maneuver and spin him out of control. That, by the way, is not a done deal. Once that happens, they just hope they disorient and disable the driver long enough that they can get out, draw their weapons, and order him to stop and get out of the car. It's very possible after a pit maneuver, they can just, you know, basically correct the car and get going again. We believe we're still in the city of Compton now. This is interesting. You've got a school bus blocking the car. School bus pulls over. Now at this point, the driver, if you remember when I was talking about these suspects going to areas where they're familiar, if you notice, you've seen this guy make mostly right turns. He's been going in a large circle in the city of Compton, very likely familiar with this area, very possibly looking for a familiar face, looking for a familiar driveway, looking for a place where he thinks I can get out. They won't be able to get a weapon on me fast enough, or we will be able to get out, and we'll be able to get out of there.
Okay.
He's pulling over. He's stopping one guy out, running.
Bailing.
All right, Jeff, there's a second car going after him.
Okay,
This is government-subsidized housing, it looks like. If we can drop this banner, that would help.
There he goes.
Okay, top of the
They're in
screen,
open
got one
field
in the
right now.
open field, running toward. Mistake of running into an open area rather than into a closed area. And if you'll forgive me, I'm just looking at a note from another one of our sources here. Didn't have to use the pit maneuver. They decided to dump out. They knew the area. We see that one person being walked back.
Everything on the scanner just one detained.
What we're hearing so far on the police radios, everybody, is one under arrest. But that would be actually two when you consider that they also detained and have arrested the one person at Cal State Fullerton who got out of the car. Originally, 5 suspects, down to 4. Now we have possibly 3 unaccounted for. And still I don't see any weapon, or we haven't heard about a weapon being spotted. There's that car right there that Jeff just zoomed in on. That was the getaway car, the second one used. This was taken around the Cal State Fullerton campus. Don't know what they did with the one they were using when they left the Moreno Valley jewelry store. We'll try to get that information for you. Jeff, what we're looking for, if you can just kind of, as you pull out a little bit and look around, is officers who don't look like they're in a code 4 or a relaxed, posture. Anybody who looks like they're still searching, any guns drawn, that's what we're looking for. On the right, you see the termination of the pursuit tape that just happened about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Here you see on the right of your screen why and how this guy was taken into custody. Watch how these people just spread, and then the guy on the